Okay, guys. First off, in the unlikely event that any of our viewers haven't heard of you guys, obviously you're Hacktivist, but can you give us some introductions and roles in the band, please?
My name's Rich, and I play the drums.
I'm Josh, I'm a bass player.
Fantastic. And can you tell me how it feels? Obviously, you're at Leeds today. How's it feel to be at Leeds Festival?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, for me, this is the first time I've ever been to Leeds Festival. So yeah, I mean, it's great to come and check it out and perform, see all the rest of the bands and stuff.
Yeah, there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation for this whole weekend with Leeds and Reading. Obviously, we played Leeds first, you just come off stage, and I mean, we're still kind of buzzing off of it. Still went really well. We weren't entirely sure how it was going to go down because we're maybe a little bit on the alternative side for Leeds and Reading lineup, although it's quite a broad festival. But I think the people there watching it really enjoyed it.
They seem to build it really well on our stage as well, because obviously you've got like Crossfade and Shikari sound system, so you've got some, interesting mixtures of music coming up. So yeah.
That's what I was going to say as well. I mean, you bring up some interesting bands there that do the crossover sound. Obviously, you've got the DJ and the metal, the hip hop. It's a great mixed bag. So, are there any, how does it feel to be kind of there is a mixed bag of bands here. But how does it feel to be a part of that? Obviously, you are. You're a heavy band. How does it feel to be mixing, in a festival? Are there any bands that you want to see, particularly that you, obviously Shikari Sound System, because you've got a history with those guys. Are there any bands you want to see, obviously, that perhaps do a similar type of thing, that mix genres really well?
Crossfade. Yeah, we just mentioned a minute ago. We did a show of them in Camden. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're animals. They just it's just solid as hell on stage all the time. So yeah, really up for seeing them.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, it's not a mixture, but I just want to try and catch MF Doom somewhere. I don't know even if we're gonna coincide, unfortunately, but yeah, he's one of my favourite rappers. So.
Cool. It'd be good to check them out. I think that's interesting as well because there's been a bit of a rise. It's nice to see you on this bill because there's been a bit of a rise in kind of the djent thing, obviously the crossover thing as well. Obviously you've got bands like Tesseract and the Algorithm doing really well as well. Yeah. And obviously you guys have been touring internationally now, which is fantastic and well done for that. How do you feel about this kind of rise of the crossover music? Obviously I think you more call you guys crossover rather than DJ. You can't really put you guys in a scene, I suppose. So how do you feel about the rise of these kind of crossover bands? Obviously, like Anya Shikari, and the bands that are mixing electronica, metal, and hip hop to a great,
It's great. Like I think for me at least, I've grown up in this kind of scene with the gent bands like Tesseract, Monuments, Fell Silent. They've all got roots back from Milton Keynes, which is where we're from. So it's really, really nice seeing kind of the peers that we've grown up with and now getting recognised as legitimate big bands, and they're getting great bookings and great shows. So I'm really proud of all of them, and I'm obviously just feeling blessed that we can be a part of that as well.
Definitely. It's also good to actually see because what was it, either a year or a couple of years ago, they were saying about how in the charts there was like no guitar-based music at all. It was all, produced and synth-based and stuff. So now, at festivals like Reading and Leeds, when you've got bands that have the crossover thing with the guitars and the heavy riffs and stuff like that, Bury Tomorrow on the main stage. So it's good to actually see the rise up again of some more guitar-based, actual metal type stuff.
And you're looking at the bands that we've got opening the main stage this year. It's great. We've got Bury Tomorrow. Who else? I've forgotten all the bands. Mallory Knox are opening.
Heaven's Basement, more classic rock type stuff.
Last stage,
So lots of guitar-based stuff coming back through again. So.
It's nice, yeah. You guys have had a nice history of playing smaller areas like Scarborough and Leeds as well. Obviously, you've been back before on tour. How do you like those kind of gigs where perhaps obviously Leeds is a bit different, but places like Scarborough where you've played Scunthorpe with Shikari, how do you enjoy those gigs because they don't really get a lot of big name bands?
That tour with Shikari was brilliant. The whole idea was it was bringing it back to the towns which don't get the big shows. The joy of playing that is that when a big show comes through like Shikari, it's like the best thing that's happened in the last 6 months. There's that buzz around the whole town.
Yep.
And it's great because we'll turn up early and we'll go wandering around the town with these tiny little places, and then all the kids appear for the show and everyone's just buzzing. It's great. It was a great tour we did. It was it was nice. 6 weeks or something, and every show was awesome.
Absolutely. And I was going to ask as well, obviously you guys have got some new material coming out, you've been working on things like Levitate. I wanted to ask, what is the inspiration behind your material? Because it's quite obviously heavy in terms of sonic and the kind of sound, but in terms of lyrically, what kind of goes into your stuff? Is it kind of people, places, locations? What kind of things inspire Hacktivist sound?
It's not like an overall kind of definite message I mean, well, no, sorry, there's not a specific, one-sided message, but overall it's kind of just to kind of, positive and kind of, improving your own situation, being, open-minded, being open-eyed to the world around you and stuff, see what's going on. So it's kind of current affairs and sort of political at times, but other times it's just, about rocking out, really.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Okay, cool. All right, and I'm going to ask a couple of sillier questions to finish off. It'd be interesting to ask. I do this quite a lot with different bands. If you could come up with a Frankenstein's monster for the Hacktivist sound, so the head of Limp Bizkit, the legs of Tesseract, and the arms of I don't know, whatever.
Well, legs definitely has to be of Meshuggah, because Thomas Harker, obviously.
Okay, yeah. The face of Skepta.
Okay.
Do you love his new album? If you're into grime, Skepta's new album, it's a good one.
So now we've got like a really weird little bipod monster torso of either Limp Bizkit or Rage, I reckon. The main part of the body.
Torso.
The new metal torso, nondescript new metal torso. And then arms, one right arm of...
It's a weird question.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
You've got to be stumped.
Put you on the spot.
Who's got notable arms?
I suppose you might have used Jay-Z at some point,
Okay. So the right arm of Jay-Z then.
Jay-Z throwing Illuminati signs, one hand.
Yep.
Kanye on the other.
Nice.
Let's go for that then.
That's one hell of a monster. That sounds amazing. Cool. And this is the general question. It's a festival question, but you guys have been touring a long time now, playing different festivals around Europe and everything. What are Hacktivist kind of key festival tips for Hacktivist fans? And kind of addressing the fans. What are your key tips for people watching you guys and other bands today and tomorrow in Reading?
Fans coming to see us, get involved. Like we feed off the crowd, we feed off the fans. So come and chat to us. If you see us, come and just get down in the pit. That spurs us on stage. So we need that.
Yeah. The general tips: make sure you stay hydrated and drink lots and lots of beer.
Yep, definitely.
Sunscreen as well, in case, so then you can put like rude words and shit on people's faces.
Yeah.
Cool. I know you guys have got some tour plans coming up as well, but in general, what are the things that Hacktivist has planned now towards the beginning, I guess, of end of 2013, beginning of 2014?
Working hard to get an album out. That's number one priority at the minute until we go back out on tour, the headline stuff. And then we've got some very, very interesting stuff to announce for early in the year, but that is to be announced for the time being.
Cool.
But it's all going on. It's all going on.
Exciting times there for you guys. Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time today, guys, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And congratulations on a great set.
Thanks a lot.